Many fans wonder why Hayley Mills still refuses to watch this one episode that she filmed in 1961. Hayley Mills was born Hayley Catherine Rose Vivian Mills on April 18, 1946, in London, England, into a family deeply rooted in the performing arts. She is the daughter of the distinguished British actor John Mills and his wife Mary Hayley Bell, a playwright and novelist. Raised in such an artistically rich environment, Hayley was naturally exposed to acting, theater, and literature from a very early age. Her father had already established an enviable career on stage and screen, while her mother's artistic sensibilities helped cultivate a home environment that encouraged imagination, expression, and artistic discipline. This nurturing atmosphere played an important role in Hayley's early interest in performing and her eventual rise to international stardom. Hayley Mills started her career as an actress very early in life and showed a brilliance that made her very different from her contemporaries. Her film debut came in 1959 with Tiger Bay, when at the age of 11 years, she showed much assurance and depth on screen to receive immediate critical praise. She received the BAFTA Award for Most Promising Newcomer for her performance, which was a great honor for a person of such a young age. The early success not only proved her inherent acting skill, but established her as one of the most promising child performers of her generation. During this period, Hayley's innocent, charming, and charismatic ways became her distinctive features that drew audiences of all ages to her performances. Her association with Walt Disney Studios proved a turning point in her career. Hayley Mills gained household recognition through a series of Disney films, starting with Pollyanna in 1960. In this film, she portrayed the eternally optimistic Pollyanna, bringing warmth, humor, and a timeless sense of hope to the part. She received critical acclaim for not only the finesse of acting, but also for the emotionally honest way she imparted life to the character, and thus became a role model for young audiences all over the world. She followed this success with The Parent Trap in 1961, where she played the memorable twin sisters, separated at birth, who meet up at summer camp and plot to reunite their estranged parents. The film revealed her versatility as she convincingly portrayed two different characters and revealed a rare talent for timing, nuance, and on-screen presence. These films solidified her status as one of Disney's most popular stars and created one of the longest-lasting legacies that continues to charm audiences to this day. Audiences were enchanted by her ability to balance humor, charm, and emotional nuance, and the film remains a beloved classic, often cited as one of the best family films of the 1960s. Other major Disney films included 1962's In Search of the Castaways and 1963's Summer Magic, both of which continued to cement her status as a very talented and trustworthy performer capable of carrying major film projects and deeply connecting with audiences of all ages. As Hayley made the transition from being a child star to an adult actress, she certainly is facing challenges that child actors often have to undergo through the difficult path of redefining their acting career with their artistic integrity intact. She made that transition quite seamlessly, continuing to work through most of her adult life in these three mediums of film, television, and theater. Notable adult roles included appearances in the 1966 film The Trouble with Angels, which further showcased her ability to balance humor with drama, along with her on-stage work, where she received critical acclaim for performances that required subtler, more mature acting. Her ability to adapt into the worlds of film, television, and theater underlined her longevity in an industry generally quite unforgiving to former child stars. Starting in 1981, she stepped into the spotlight with a memorable leading role in the television adaptation of The Flame Trees of Thika, a lush period drama, which instantly showcased her gift for portraying characters with emotional depth and quiet strength. Her performance in this series did more than add another credit to her resume. It marked the beginning of a new chapter in her career, when audiences watched her grow from a youthful star to a mature, nuanced actress who could anchor a story with subtlety and elegance. Over the years, she continued to make her presence felt across British television, playing diverse roles that showed her capability in acting. Whether appearing in dramas, mysteries, or ensemble productions, she consistently brought a stable, appealing energy to every project. In 1988, she returned to the big screen with the British mystery film Appointment with Death, where she slipped into a supporting turn that added tension and intrigue to the Agatha Christie-inspired story. Even though she was not the primary focus of the film, her performance added texture to the movie's rich ensemble cast. She chose her on-camera appearances much more sparsely for almost 20 years after that. But when she did return, audiences took notice. In 2011, she appeared in the heartwarming British comedy drama Foster, which was released under the name Angel of Mine in some territories, in a soft, understated supporting role that quickly reminded audiences of her natural warmth and screen presence. At roughly the same time, she joined the cast of the popular television drama Wild at Heart, starring in a supporting role on the show during its successful 2007 to 2012 run. Set against the beautiful scenery of South Africa, the series presented her with yet another opportunity to shine within a story replete with adventure, family dynamics, and emotional storytelling. Her most recent television appearance came in the poignant British anthology series Moving On, where she appeared in a standalone episode. Even with limited screen time, she managed to bring a grounded emotional honesty to the role, the kind of performance that reminds longtime fans why they connected with her in the first place. Besides her screen work, Hayley Mills also went on to become a prominent figure in television, theater, and voice acting. Her work in the arts has been recognized with many awards and honors, celebrating not only her performances, but also her influence as a trailblazing figure in the entertainment world. Mills has served as an inspiration to countless actors, most especially women and child performers, who see it as possible to transition from early stardom to a respected and sustained career. In 1966, on the set of the British comedy drama The Family Way, a young Hayley Mills, then only 20 years old, met the mature and much older director Roy Bolting, 53 at the time. Their meeting marked the beginning of a complex relationship that would eventually culminate in marriage. Bolting was already an iconic figure in British cinema, with his reputation for precision in directorial style and long-standing influence within the film industry. For Mills, this relationship formed an important personal and emotional bond, crossing more than a 3-decade gulf between them in age. 5 years later, in 1971, the couple legalized their union, marrying to seal their pledge that bonded their professional and private lives together. Together, they maintained residences that reflected both their urban sophistication and rural sensibilities. The stylish flat in fashionable Chelsea, London, which put them at the heart of the city's cultural and artistic life, and the historic cobblestone windmill in Ibstone, Buckinghamshire, a picturesque property offering a peaceful retreat to the countryside. In due course, though, the pressures of their differences and personal circumstances took their toll, and they parted company. The marriage ended in divorce in 1977. They had a son, Crispian Mills, during their marriage, who grew up amidst the creative influences of both parents. Crispian went into music, becoming the lead vocalist and guitarist of the psychedelic rock band Kula Shaker, which merged psychedelic rock with Indian music influences, a setting very similar to the artistic milieu of his childhood. When her marriage to Bolting ended, Hayley Mills entered into a relationship with actor Lee Lawson, a relationship that was both personally and professionally nuanced, as Lawson was a respected figure in British theater and film. In July of 1976, she gave birth to her son, Jason Lawson, another very important chapter in her life as a mother. That relationship was passionate but presented its own challenges, and by the early 1980s, Mills and Lawson had separated. Even though the romance was over, their shared commitment to raising Jason and wading through publicity helped mold Mills's experience as a parent and her ability to manage her private life through the challenges of a demanding career. Years later, Mills found lasting companionship with actor and writer Ferdiz Bomji. Starting their partnership in 1997, Mills and Bomji's relationship has been one of mutual respect, creative synergy, and a striking age difference, with Bomji being 20 years younger. The two had first met while touring together in a stage production of The King and I, wherein they played the lead roles. This experience not only cemented their professional collaboration, but also allowed a deep personal bond to form. As of 2023, their relationship is ongoing, and this attests to Mills's ability to establish long-lasting and satisfying partnerships in her personal life. Even following the earlier setbacks, their life together constitutes a blend of artistic collaboration, emotional support, and enduring companionship that parallels Mills's illustrious career in both film and theater. Even though Hayley Mills has spent her whole life in front of cameras and has watched an innumerable number of scenes from her lengthy career, there is one thing she still cannot bring herself to revisit. It is an episode she filmed back in 1961 during the same whirlwind period when The Parent Trap turned her into an international sensation. For most fans, that era looks like a golden chapter filled with sunlit sets, Disney sparkle, and a young actress whose talent and charm seemed effortless. But for Hayley herself, one moment from that year sits like a stone in her memory, something she has repeatedly admitted she will never watch again. The episode in question was part of a lesser-known television appearance Mills made at the time when she was juggling press tours, film rehearsals, and promotional commitments for The Parent Trap. She has said many times that at just 14, she was under enormous pressure, explaining that she did not fully comprehend what it would be like to be in the public eye, and that she was terrified of disappointing everyone, Walt, her parents, the crew, and the fans. She recalled the early years as thrilling, but also profoundly overwhelming, as one would find herself expected to be a perfect Disney girl at every turn. What makes this single episode so haunting to her is the emotional state she was in at the time. She filmed it during a stretch when she was working nearly nonstop, with early call times and long shooting days, late-night fittings, and interviews. Mills has recalled how physically and emotionally drained she was, even admitting that when she looks at still photos from that episode, she can see that she was not well. Exhausted, anxious, and just trying to get through the day, she says it reminds her of a moment when she felt lost inside the machinery of early stardom, propelled along by the momentum of success she was too young to understand. Another layer of discomfort comes from how she viewed her performance. According to Hayley, the script demanded a tone and emotional nuance that she felt completely unequipped for at that age. She recalls thinking she was not good enough, not seasoned enough, and not confident enough. Watching it now would reopen that vulnerable moment of teenage insecurity when she was terrified she would let down the very people who believed in her. She has confessed that even the thought of hearing her younger self's voice from that episode makes her chest tighten. Adding to all of this is the fact that her work on The Parent Trap was running parallel, which ironically makes the infamous episode feel even more out of place. Whereas The Parent Trap presented her at perhaps her most radiant and adored, playing dual roles and carrying the film with impressive charm, this smaller television appearance caught her at a frazzled low point. She once explained that the contrast was overwhelming. People saw her as happy, bright, and full of energy, while that episode showed what she was like when the camera stopped catching the sparkle. To her, watching it would be the equivalent of breaking open an entry from the diary of a time she has no interest in revisiting. In the years since, there have been times fans have attempted to coax her to talk about the episode. She is always gentle, yet firm, in her refusals. She accepts its position in her professional history, but does not want to make it either a navel-gazing moment in nostalgia or a matter of curiosity. Instead, she views it as a private snapshot of her younger self, one best left in the past. Some things, she has said with quiet finality, do not have to be relived, and that one is best left where it was.